I am Dave from Amplify, and we are talking to Grady Allen and Dante Melluci from the Anxious band. Anxious. Uh, Dante was anxious the other day. He's in Philly, and when the Eagles were playing, he was anxious for about 10 minutes. No, actually, the first quarter and a half, I thought you might be in trouble because they looked like they pretty well had you, even though they scored. But after that first quarter and a half, it was all downhill.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. Let's get into it. How'd the band come together in Connecticut almost 10 years ago? Where did it all begin?
Yeah, me and Dante did a like children's music program together and we immediately gravitated towards each other. We were, the only kids within, our immediate vicinity of like suburban Connecticut who were into like punk music and things. So we just immediately connected and started a band. And 10 almost 10 years later, we're still playing in it. So
Small town, like when you say not many punk, I can imagine 10 years ago, Connecticut had a lot of punk followers. So were you in a smaller town?
yeah, I mean, we're from like suburban Connecticut outside the city,
Okay.
and
Yep.
Dante was 11, I was barely 13. And so, it's hard to, your
No, no, no.
network
I
of
get it now.
kids and peers is pretty much limited to who you go to high school with. So there wasn't a lot of other kids who were in the same sort of music that we were.
So the last 10 years has been a pretty big discovery then, because basically it's not like you're in bands, four bands, and all of a sudden at 30 you got into this band and it's been successful. You've sort of discovered everything along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've made this joke a million times, but like whenever you're talking with like other bands and stuff, like there's always oh, tell me about the first band that you played, and tell me about your crappy high school and middle school band, and eventually gets past us, and I say, well, I'm still playing in that band,
It
so
was last week. Yeah, it was
yeah,
last week.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
All right, how would you describe your sound? They say emo, melodic hardcore, emo pop. What do you say it is?
I think probably the sound that most accurately describes us is emo music, but the world and the background and the scene that we come from is hardcore. So I think I don't know. I think people are sometimes thrown off that we're described as hardcore, but I think, hardcore is such an expansive and all-encompassing term. So, um, yeah, emo slash hardcore, I guess is yeah, we're anxious is what we are, I guess.
Anxious. You are. You're anxious. Everyone's anxious.
Yeah.
So, but you're
Yeah.
you're really anxious. Why do you think fans resonate with your music? One of the hardest things that people have to do is when you're building a music career. Everyone has this misnomer, especially in today's age, that if we build our social media, we'll build a following. And what you find is, people come to your social media because Dante looks, handsome and all that sort of stuff, and they follow him and on Instagram and all this. And you wonder why they're not listening to your music. He's got 100,000 followers on Instagram, and you've got 20 plays on your music, and you can't work out why.
Mm.
So building a musical following is all about, you know, giving them a show, making them want more, and giving them a sort of an appetite. And so what do you think fans like what you do? What is it about what you do that makes the fans say, wow?
Well, we come from, the punk and hardcore world, which, I think is so grassroots. I mean, I think social media and everything, like to the extent that people gravitate towards it, it's because there's a video of the live show or something, and then they say, "Oh, I really want to go be a part of that." Um, I think it's because it feels raw and it feels real. I think it like also this sort of music, it feels tangible and accessible. It's something that you can have and you can participate in it. And I think, it's something that exists in your own backyard. I think the fact that we're from, kind of abstractly, objectively a boring place. I think maybe kids are attracted to that idea that,
Yeah.
um, this sort of thing can exist and happen anywhere. I also think the music's pretty good, which is why people like it.
You wouldn't be doing it if you didn't. It's a stupid thing. Um, how about who's been some artist inspirations? Who are you following back when you started, and who are you following these days? Who are you looking at to sort of say, that's who we're going to be. Not that you need
Well,
necessarily going to be someone, but
Grady and I became friends because I found out that he liked Blink, and I had to talk to someone about Blink because it was like my favorite thing when I was 13. So that's really where we started off, and we've kind of gotten back to that a little over the last couple of years.
so he
But
likes Blink like 99.7% of the population, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
That's what,
I don't know. I think I think yeah, bands like Blink-182 and things like when we were 11 and 13 were like really big influences. And I think even now, there's plenty of times when we're making things and we might reference like Blink's Untitled record or something.
yep,
I
yep,
feel like
yep,
on this record for me, I was pulling a lot of Jimmy Eat World and Death Cab for Cutie.
yep,
I
yep,
know Dante was pulling stuff,
yep,
from
yep, yep.
very eclectic as far as Beach Boys to Panic at the Disco. So we were covering some real ground.
That's wit. That's wit. What about your latest album, Bambi? It's coming out on Feb 21. By the time
Hmm.
some of these people see it, it'll already be out. What's it all about? Describe its origin and evolution. It's number two, isn't it?
Yes, second record. Yeah.
Yep.
Dante, I don't know. You
What's
can
it
lead
all
it.
yeah,
about?
it's definitely us trying to like hone in our uh our aspirations and our uh kind of sound that we have been trying to put together based on just all our different personalities and tastes in music. But it's it's got a lot of different topics on it. I think Grady and I uh, had a lot of different stuff going on over the last couple of years, but um, it's a lot about what we want to do with our lives as we enter our 20s and try to figure shit out.
Okay. What are the signature tracks? Which are your favorites? Like you haven't played it live yet, obviously. So
Hmm.
you might have played some tracks, I suppose. You've released some tracks, have you?
Yeah, we put some
Yeah,
singles out. Yep.
So what are the signature tracks on the album? Are they the things you've released, or the things that you're about to release?
I mean, I think my favorite songs on the record are probably ones that haven't come out yet. I really love the last song on the record, I'll Be Around. I think the first single, Counting Sheep, is really great. There's a song called Next Big Star that's like this sort of weird anthemic build song that I think is really great. Those are several that I think are pretty fire.
yeah. The first song on the record, "Never Said," is coming out next week. That one is one of my favorites. "Some Girls" is the last single we put out, which is one of the sweeter songs we've um, put together, and that's one of my other favorites. It's just something a kind of song I wanted us to write for a long time.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. Okay, what tours and events are coming up?
We're about to do a tour of the United States, and then we're coming up, going to Europe in the summer, and then hopefully getting to chill in Australia, hopefully at the beginning of 2026. So
That'll be great. So when you say the States, East Coast, West Coast, a lot.
the whole damn thing.
Really? So it's going to be it's in a van, obviously, a la, Foo Fighters, is it? Or a la, Dave Grohl back of the van, get into town, that sort of thing, or is it all
Oh,
You know,
flights and hotels?
we've often been told that, we're like the next Foo Fighters, so that's probably, yeah, that is how I'd compare
Imagine,
the whole
imagine
thing.
going to Foo Fighters, and Dave's already got millions from the first gig. And he says, "Righto, guys, this is what we're doing. We're going in the van." And you'd have an expectation that at least it'll be a decent van, maybe a bus. No, no, no. It's
Hmm.
and going back in the original Foo band and going touring. That'll be fun. Okay, so and Europe, is Europe booked or are you in the process of working it out?
It's booked, announced. It's in July. Playing a
Uh,
bunch of fests over there and playing
mate,
some shows too.
you're not 11 and 13 anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Now I'm 24 and 22.
Now you're getting to a stage where at some stage you're going to be doing Freddie at Wembley, Live Aid with the half mic and, 100, 400, 200,000 fans going waving side by side, singing your
And
name,
Let's
I
hope
and
so.
and I'll have a great mustache.
and you have a great mustache.
Oh,
All right. What do you still got long-term aspirations? Obviously, the Freddie gig, obviously.
To
Wembley.
be the next Foo Fighters, I guess.
Next food. Okay, that's a decent thing. With your 24 and 22, I was old when you were born. So, when I say what piece of advice would you give to someone, you obviously develop advice. One of the things that we have, especially in every industry, but especially the music industry, is the changes in technology. So, as you're at the forefront of new technology, you can actually be giving advice to people that have been around for 30 and 40 years. So, what's your advice if you were giving advice to people who are starting off like you did 10 years ago?
What I would say is, we come from punk and hardcore music, and I would say let let that music scene be a tool to live authentically and truly. Don't get caught up in, superficial things that you feel like you have to subscribe to. So that's what I would say.
That's a good life advice as well.
yeah, it's all about the music. It's all about having fun.
All about having fun, but it's all about hard work too.
Oh yeah.
You don't get by
Yeah.
not rehearsing enough and not planning enough. You still got to work out what you're going to do when you get up there. What's the
Yeah.
best thing about performing to a live audience?
I like it when people get on the stage and jump off it. But I think it's cool performing live and people reacting to it. It's great because the songs become bigger than just this idea and something you've made. It becomes something that everybody gets to have and is participating in. So it becomes way bigger than yourself. So I like that sort of communal aspect of it.
When you come to Melbourne, I'm going to get on the stage and jump off it.
I I
Please.
I sure hope that you will.
Well, you can hold me to it. Uh,
Okay.
Dante, what do you think the best thing is?
Uh, my favorite part about playing live uh is probably just the work out of it all. Just like totally immersing yourself in the song and looking over at my friends and seeing us all having a good time.
When you think
It-
when you think about music, it's probably the zenith, isn't it? Playing live, because everything else is like, the music's cool and rehearsal's cool and loving the music and playing at home, pulling the guitar out, it's all cool. But when you're on stage and you're actually performing to people who are singing your words back, that's got to be the zen, isn't it?
yeah,
So.
I have a hard time telling what people are even doing during our set. I'm pretty lost in it all.
Yeah, listen, if I do jump off the stage in Melbourne, it might be my final act, by the way. So it's because I'm pretty heavy. So I'd say that maybe they might separate and I might hit the floor rather than do a bit of a.
Oh,
Okay, let's finish with some searching quick questions. You ready?
okay. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Mm,
God, probably
great.
be in the same band for 10 years and travel the world with all my closest friends.
Oh, that's I'm going to cry. Don't Dante.
Man, that's hard. I've done a lot of crazy stuff. Um,
Well, you
maybe
better
maybe
watch
my
out. You better watch out. Over in the States, they'll probably come and find you and arrest you. So don't say don't say something
But
too bad.
a tame crazy thing I've done is probably move to Philadelphia without a job
Yes,
with
yes,
about like a grand in my bank account.
yes. So Philly's cool though. Philly is cool. I think Philly's a bit cooler than where you came from. But I'm not gonna say that definitively because someone will send a, a Mario out here and I'll lose a few fingers. What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Oh gosh, Dante, you go first.
Uh, You know the band Animal Collective? I could probably talk about them for a couple hours.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot about them.
Oh, that's cool. I know every band. I get thousands of emails for the last 10, 15 years from all around the world, so I know everyone, but I don't
That's
remember.
awesome.
What about you, Grady?
Shoot. Uh, there's an author called Larry McMurtry. I think he's pretty cool. I like talking about his books a lot.
Yeah.
I
And
don't get to enough,
what's
but
he
I like
write
him.
about?
He writes about people in the Midwest, kind of in mid-century, mid 20th century, and their lives kind of falling apart. That's what he writes about. It's pretty heavy.
Politically, or consciously.
It's
Like
not very political. It's just about like people's like way of life, like
collective.
agriculture and
Okay.
like
Yep.
yeah.
So one thing you like most about yourself?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Nothing.
Uh,
Sorry. No, no, no. What's the one thing you like most about yourself?
I try to spend my time doing as many creative things as I can. I'm drawing right now. Later,
Good
I'll probably
work.
play
Good work.
guitar.
Good work. Grady?
I've I like that I've managed to surround myself with really great influences and good people, both in my family and my friendships. So I'd say that.
Hey, Dante, he said that a few times. I think he's going to ask you for a loan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're going to finish. We've got to do this pretty quick. We're going to finish with favorites. You ready?
Okay.
Favorite album?
Uh, um, shit. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
Um,
That's a surprise.
shit. I'm gonna say my favorite record right now, not my favorite record ever,
All
favorite
right.
right now is probably Clarity by Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, it's a good record. Favorite artist?
Like musician?
Yeah, musician.
Okay, I'll let Dante go first.
This is a tough one. Uh,
They're all
Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins are fantastic. Yeah,
I'm gonna say favorite artist right now, we'll say Youth of Today.
they're cool. Favorite movie?
The Last Picture
Uh,
Show.
That's
uh,
a classic. No one knows it.
Hmm. That's a
No,
Larry McMurtry book. It's a Larry
no,
McMurtry book that got
no
turned
one
into a
knows
movie.
it. No one knows it, but it's a great movie. They should watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's great.
Come on, Dante.
Sweet and Low Down.
Never seen it. I'm gonna have to look at it.
Woody Allen.
Favorite place to visit?
Japan.
Very clean.
Um, I like California pretty much anytime I'm in it. I think Japan's probably my favorite place I've ever gotten to tour in. I've been to India once, and that was really cool too.
They love their cricket. Favorite venue to play?
Ooh,
It's probably coming up in the tour.
yeah, favorite venue.
Damn, that's kind of hard.
That's actually a surprisingly hard one.
Pass, pass. Favorite food?
Indian.
Pineapple fried rice, Thai,
That's a
Fa-
good answer.
Favorite drink?
water.
Uh,
Ooh.
I
Sorry.
had this blue lemonade stuff, Calypso, yesterday. That was pretty good.
Favorite person in history apart from me?
Ooh,
Favorite person
uh,
in who?
History.
Oh, in
What?
history.
Only one more. Only one more question left.
Frank Delano Roosevelt.
Ah, Franklin, FDR. What a fucking champion.
Yeah, truly.
I wish we had an FDR over there at the moment to fix the fucking world because you're gonna need two FDRs to fix what he fucks up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably right.
Dante,
This one's really hard. Uh,
just say
Brian
me.
Wilson.
I'll
The
put
Beach
it.
Boys. Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson. Fucking hell. You should look at his life. He had a mad life. Favorite tattoo?
That I have? Or just a tattoo?
Just a favorite tattoo that you have.
My girlfriend did a cool, like, uh, fairy with skulls on my rib cage a couple weeks ago. That one's pretty cool.
And so, can you show us?
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, look at that. I wasn't that thin when I was born, Grady. That looks pretty cool. Yeah. What about you, Grady? You haven't got one.
Um, I, I don't have any tattoos, but my favorite tattoo artist is a woman, Daniela, who lives in New York City, who goes by I Quadrado, and she does really cool like stick and poke tattoos. She's probably my favorite right now.
That is cool. I interviewed a band, got to go, but I interviewed a band, Scary Ball, last night, Martin Gillespie, and he's from Scotland, and I didn't understand a word he said all the way through.
Oh
And
man.
I've got two of us interviewed him, and the other person's doing the transcription, and I'm not sure that Google understood a word he said all the way through. So it's a pretty challenging situation. I think you guys are cool. I think you look like you're ready to take on the world. So we're now partners, all right? So
Hey,
when you need to, just yell out, contact, yell out, say we're putting this out, or actually do some short videos that you can put on Instagram, and you can put them on yours, and we'll punch them out on ours. Say something about us, and we'll punch them out on ours as well. Because ultimately, when you're bringing out a record or something like that, if you bring out a short video on the tracks, you can put things out and sort of put it under people's eyes all the time. And branding's about being seen. And at
yeah.
some stage, we'll get something signed and give that away or something like that as well. So keep in touch.
Okay, yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
awesome, man. Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good luck with the band, and I hope we'll catch up with you again soon.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much, man.
You
Thank you for
take
your
care.
time and wanting to talk.
No worries at all. Thank you for your time. All the best.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye 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 bye.